Hey foodies, welcome to the Caribbean Vegan Foodie. Come along with your girl Kim Campbell as I recreate traditional Caribbean food vegan style. And today we're going down to Barbados. Yes, Barbados. And we're going to recreate the national dish. And that is flying fish and cuckoo. So we're gonna have to see how that turned out. But before we get into the video, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. Let's go.
Can you feel the vibe?
Let's get started. So we're starting off with our fish replacement, and we're using some banana blossom, a can of banana blossom, to replace the fish in this recipe. So this is the vegan-ish. We're taking off the F because it's all vegan. Yes, so we're gonna open that can and we're gonna drain off the liquid from the blossom, and we're also gonna get this all rinsed and ready. Now, after rinsing and draining, you want to put them into a separate bowl and making sure that they're all still together, and the pieces that have fallen off, we're going to use all those little pieces and put them together to make an whole-ish fish, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to put those together because we're not wasting anything around here. So we're going to use everything that came in the can. Since we're trying to imitate a fish or a fishy flavor, we're going to add some nori flakes to the banana blossom and also some salt and hot water, and we're going to let this sit for about 30 minutes so that the banana blossom could absorb the flavor of the nori flakes, and this is going to give it that fishy flavor that we're looking for, because it should be giving the girl fishiness, even though it's fake fish or it's a vegan version, because we're creating someone national dish, so we need to get as close as possible to what the locals expect from their dish. As the banana blossom soak, we're gonna move on to making the green season, and this is just a quick little green season that I throw in together. I'm just using what I had in my fridge to make this green seasoning so that we can use it to season our banana blossom. And by the way, is there any Caribbean cooking without some good green seasoning? And this might not be what you are used to if you're from the Caribbean and you're watching this video, but this is basically what I had in my fridge. I used, so use what you have. I'm all about that. So we're gonna blend that all up, and this is it. Simple green seasoning. Moving back to the blossom, the banana blossom, we're gonna drain the water off after 30 minutes of soaking, and you see those nice nori flakes that is left behind. That's okay, it's giving what it's supposed to give. And now we're going to add on our green seasoning, a liberal amount, and don't worry, it's not spicy. Even though I use a whole Scotch bonnet pepper, the pepper was a little weak, so it's not spicy. And if you don't like spice, you can always omit the Scotch bonnet pepper. So we want to add on a nice little liberal amount to the blossom, and we're going to add some fish seasoning. Well, this fish seasoning is actually vegan, gluten-free, and MSG-free, but you can use whatever all-purpose seasoning you have at hand or that you like to season the blossom. Ensure that all the creases have seasoning in it, so get your hands in there. Don't be afraid. Ensure that your hands are clean, right? We always have clean hands in the kitchen. But we're getting all the pieces to be well seasoned, because if we're going to imitate fish or imitate Caribbean dish, it needs to be well and properly seasoned, right? We're gonna let that marinate for 30 minutes, an hour, a couple minutes, depending on the time that you have it's up to you. And now we're gonna move on to the flour, because we're gonna flour the banana blossom before we fry them. And I'm using all-purpose gluten-free flour, but you can use whatever flour you have and whatever flour you can use. I'm celiac, so I'm using gluten-free. And I'm adding some nori flakes for that extra flavor. And I'm also gonna add the fish all-purpose seasoning, or whatever all-purpose seasoning you have, you can use. So I'm gonna get all that mixed in and ready for coating our blossom or banana blossom. A little disclaimer before we get any further in this video. So we are recreating the BAJAN National Dish, and a portion of this dish is involves the flying fish. It's a very popular fish in Barbados, you know. And they normally steam this fish in a tomato paste based sauce, but since we're veganizing it, and I'm using the banana blossom for the fish, the ish, and it's a little delicate, we're gonna fry it. Yes, I said fry. We're gonna fry it instead of steaming it, because we don't want it falling apart in the sauce. And you know, before I recreate any dish, I call up folks from the different islands, because as a Jamaican girl, I only can speak on Jamaican food. So you know, I want to get the flavor profile, the characteristic, and then broader understanding of the dish. And you know, everybody cook the dish different, so I have to call up different people, different folks from the islands, to find out a little bit more about the dish, what the dish mean and what the dish is to them. And one of the questions I asked was it okay for me to fry dish instead of steaming it? And they all said it was okay, it was fine, because sometimes they fry the flying fish. So in this version, this veganized version of the national dish, I will be frying the fish separately from the sauce. But you know, your girl is working on a steam version, but remember, the flavor profile is still there, so this dish is still giving what it should be given. After that long-winded disclaimer, let's get back to the cooking, because I'm sure that you didn't come here for me to lavish. So after we get some oil hot on the stove, we just flour our banana blossom and we're adding them in, and we're gonna fry them until they're nice and golden on medium high heat for about 5 minutes, about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, until they're nice and golden. After we finish with our vegan-ish or banana blossom, we're gonna set that aside, and now we're gonna move on to making our sauce. So the first thing you're gonna do after prepping all the stuff for the sauce is we're going to heat up some oil in a skillet, and then we're gonna add our onion and we're gonna saute that until it's nice and soft. this yumminess. I'm just in love with the freshness of Caribbean cuisine. And the sauce that we're making would be the sauce that the fish would have simmer down in, steam in, but we're making it separate because we fried our banana blossom and we have those set aside, and after everything come together we're gonna add them. So we're just gonna let that simmer, set it aside, and now we're gonna move on to making our cuckoo. Now we're making the cuckoo, and cuckoo is made with cornmeal and okra and have a similarity to polenta or grits, but its true heritage is actually West Africa. Yes, it is a twist on a Ghanaian dish called BAJAN COU COU, which is eaten with okra stew. So I'm gonna do a video on the history of Barbados National Dish, so you can look out for that. It's coming soon. But back to the cooking. So we boil our water and then we throw in our chopped okra, and we're gonna let this boil up for about 10 minutes. Going to make a slurry with our cornmeal. So we're mixing cornmeal and water together, and we're just going to mix that up and set that aside until our okra is ready. After our okras are ready, we're going to remove half of it, place it in a small bowl, and we're going to set that aside for later use. Next thing we're going to do is to turn our heat to low, and then we're going to add in our cornmeal slurry that we had set aside, and we're going to stir that continuously to prevent our cornmeal from lumping. Traditionally, this is stirred using a cuckoo stick, and it's a long stick that's shaped like a cricket stick. And you know what, I'm going to insert a picture here of what a cuckoo stick looked like. And you know, didn't have a cuckoo stick, so I'm just using a wooden spoon. As the cuckoo continue to cook and the water is absorbed, you can now add in your reserve okra and liquid back to the pot and get that mixed in. And if it's getting dry, you can always add more water until it's cooked. We're cooking the cuckoo until it is nice and firm, but not stiff or dry. Now our cuckoo is finishing up. We're gonna check back in with our sauce, and then we're gonna put this all together. Now we're going to butter a bowl, and I use vegan butter, and then we're going to put our cuckoo inside, some of our cuckoo, just to form it up, to plate it. Look, Penny, come take a look. Come closer. No. Come closer. Take a look. It's coming together so beautifully. And this is for all my Caribbean folks, all my ethnic folks out there who want to take that step in the direction of giving up the meat or lessening the meat or becoming vegan, but don't want to give up the cultural food, don't want to give up all that niceness that we're used to. But this is to show you that we still can have our ethnic food, all the amazing flavor that we're used to, but vegan, because this, I'm telling you, this tastes good. I had the leftover for lunch a couple days afterwards, and it still tastes amazing. Thank you all for hanging with me. But before you go, remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell another friend too. Until next time, walk good and big up yourself too. Thank you.